Fine, fine. So yesterday we already discussed about evolution of mental health services and treatment. So we discussed who is this Pythagoras, isn't it? Pythagoras. What he did in what is it? You just remember the name of the person and the duration, the time period when he lived. That is a 580 to 510 BC. And what is the main, the idea or what he said regarding the mental health, So Pythagoras in 580 to 510 BC, and he developed the concept that brain is the seat of intellectual activity. That is the main point. Brain is the seat of intellectual activity, said by the Pythagoras in 580 to 510 BC. And second one is the Hippocrates, 460 to 370 BC, described mental illness as a hysteria, mania, and depression. He divided or defined mental illness. So previously it is considered as a mental illness. It is a one disorder or one disease. Then he divided this mental illness as a hysteria, mania, and depression. Then he classified. Then next step, Plato. Plato in 427 to 347 BC identified the relationship between the mind and body. And the next is the Aesculapius. We know that he is he is considered as the father of psychiatry. What he did, he used simple hygienic measures, diet or bath, massage in place of mechanical restraints. Previously, the mechanical restraints are used. So he avoid all those chains or mechanical restraints. Instead of that, he used some hygienic measures are giving diet to the patient and giving bath to the patient and massage to the patient. So he found that it will improve the condition of the patients. Next, the same repetition, evolution of mental health services and treatment. This, yeah, Aristotle. The Greeks were the first to study mental illness scientifically and separate the study of mind from religion. So previously, the mental health is very closely related to the religion. So it is the punishment from the god, or it is because of demons action, isn't it? So likewise, they are considered the mental health. But the Greeks were the first to study the mental illness scientifically. They started to study the psychiatric disorders are scientifically and separate the study of mind from religion. And Aristotle, a Greek philosopher, suggested that catharsis and music therapy for patients with melancholia. So, Greek philosopher Aristotle, what is his suggestion? Catharsis and music therapy. Music therapy, what is catharsis? Catharsis means you are expressing your strong held feelings, emotions. The patients are the strong emotions are keep in his mind, so that he need to express. How he will express that emotions or feelings, strong feelings, because by playing or by involved in some other activities, isn't it? Some in the music also, in the playing. So likewise, some other activities, by doing the some other activities, he is expressing his emotional, the strong held feelings for the patients with the melancholia. So what is the melancholia? It is also uh, depression only, depression, isn't it? Clear the evolution of mental health services. The Greeks were these Greeks were the first to study the mental illness scientifically. Remember, that is the first point. They study the mental illness scientifically, and they separate the mind from religion. And Aristotle, he is a Greek philosopher. What he suggested? He suggested that catharsis and music therapy is very effective for patients with melancholia. Clear. Next one is the during Middle Ages, the mentally ill were not considered as outcast, isn't it? In Middle Ages, outcast means they are separate. Outcast means they are separating from the society, isn't it? But during the Middle Ages, mentally ill were not considered as the outcast, but as people to be helped. During this period, the mentally ill patient is considered as a human being, and they are also need some help. They are the vulnerable group to who need some help. Likewise, the some consideration is there during this Middle Ages. So one of the important figure in this period is Saint Augustine, who believed that although God acted directly in human affairs, people were responsible for their own action. So Saint Augustine, what he said, he believed the God. God is directly acting on human affairs, human activities, or human in every aspect of human life. The God will act. Then also the peoples were responsible for their own actions. So that is the suggestion from the Saint Augustine. Clear? The next one is the
Sir,
yeah,
excuse me, sir.
yeah. Please tell me.
Sir, about this melancholia, is it only melancholic patients that suffer from melancholia?
Mm,
Like those with melancholy personality?
mm. Yeah, melancholy personality
Are
is
they
there.
the only ones that suffer from melancholia?
Melancholy personality means they are deep
Oh,
thinkers. Deep thinkers. They need detailed thinkers. They are doing all the activities in very deeply. If they are thinking means that thinking is also is going on very deeply, isn't it? So that is the melancholic characteristics.
yeah.
Clear? What is your doubt actually?
Yes, sir. I'm just asking whether they are the only ones
Mm.
that mostly suffer from this mental illness, like the ones that has the most risk factor to suffer from the mental illness.
Mental. So listen.
Those with melancholic personality.
Melancholic personality, see personality, and when the personality is become worst, that time it will become the disorder, isn't it? So personality is different, and the melancholy disorder is different. Melancholy is also, personality is also there. So in some melancholic personality means, what is really melancholic means, in this personality people, they are very, everything they need very deep level, isn't it? They are not taking, if they need to study also, they want to go in very deep level. If they want to know something, then also they want to know everything in very detail. So that is a melancholic character. It's okay, in some extent it is a good personality only. But if you are thinking something, so at that time you are thinking very deeply. You are taking a 5 hour, 6 hour for thinking. So what happened? So it will affect your entire routine activities, isn't it? Every disorders or every personalities, when it will become a problem, it will become a problem once it will disturb your daily activities. Otherwise, there is no problem, isn't it? Once any personality or any activities disturb your daily activities, also disturb your social relationship, that time only, or also affect your health, that time only it is a problem, isn't it? So melancholia, here we are mentioning that melancholia means it is a MDD, massive depressive disorder, isn't it? It is a massive depressive disorder. So what happened in these patients, they are keeping strong feelings, strong emotions in their own mind, isn't it? If that emotions, if that people are keeping in their own mind, what happened? So emotions need to express, otherwise it will create a lot of problems. physical problems also. So for expressing the strong health feelings, he suggested, Aristotle suggested two methods. One is the catharsis and the second one is the music therapy for patients with the melancholia. So melancholia is some personality type is also there. It is also coming under the MDD, massive depressive disorder, that we will discuss in the later on. So next one is the Renaissance of Europe in 1300 to 1600. During this period, it was believed that demons were the cause of hallucination, delusion, and sexual activity, and the treatment was torture and even death. So Renaissance of Europe. So this is a particular period in the Europe. In the Europe, what happened? There is a transition from the middle Middle Ages to modernity. So there is a transition happened. So there is a lot of war between the peoples also happened. So that period is known as Renaissance of Europe. Okay, just remember that is what is the Renaissance of Europe. That means it is a particular period. During this period, what happened? There is a transition from the Middle Ages to modernity. Modernity happened in Europe. So what happened during this period? It was believed that demons were the cause of hallucination. You know, demons is not the cause of hallucination or delusion. You know what is hallucination and delusion? I think you already studied in the BSc, sorry,
Yes,
GNM.
last year.
Yes, isn't it? Hallucination. So false sensory perception. False sensory perception. There is nothing is there, but you are seeing some image. Somebody is there, like a feeling, or some voice is coming. That hearing. That is that type of feeling. That is hallucination. Delusion is false, unshakable belief. So during this period, what they considered, the demons were the cause of hallucination and delusion and sexual activity. What is the treatment for that? Torture and even death. So they will kill that mentally ill patient. So because demons are there with them. So that is the Renaissance of Europe. And so these are the evolution of mental health services and treatment. So in history, if asking evolution means, what you want to say? Pythagoras, Hippocrates, Plato, Hippias, and next one is the Greeks, Aristotle, and the next one is the during Middle Ages, Saint Augustine, and the last one is the Renaissance of Europe. So everything you want to explain. Then we will go for next is the development of psychiatric nursing in the world, and we will come to the India also. How the nursing, psychiatric nursing, we know that how the nursing is developed, but we don't know how the psychiatric nursing is developed. Phase 1, the emergence of psychiatric or mental health nursing, 1773 to 1881. During this period, the emergence of psychiatric or mental health nursing. So I will show you. First one is the special institution for individuals with the psychiatric disorders were built. So how you will study this topic? What is our question? Development of psychiatric nursing. So you want to write phase 1. In phase 1, what is the duration? 1773 to 1881. What happened during this period? The emergence of psychiatry, how the psychiatry is emerged, or mental health nursing, how it is emerged. So we will see one by one. First one is the special institution were built, special institution for individuals with psychiatric disorders were built. This is the first step during this period. Okay. The next one is the who is he? Benjamin Rush wrote the first American textbook on psychiatry. Which period? So if the MCQ, if asking someone, Benjamin Rush, when he wrote during this period 1773 to 1881, during this period Benjamin Rush wrote the first American textbook on psychiatry. Okay, then who is this? Philippe Pinel. Philippe Pinel classified client according to their observable behavior. How he classified the mentally ill patients according to their observable behavior means if the person is in a very sad mood, he will consider as a sad. So Philippe Pinel classified client according to their observable behavior. Okay, so that means if he is seeing any patient as a sad, so that is the sad depression. If anyone is in an aggression mode, then aggressive mode. So that is the Philippe Pinel. The next one is this school of nursing. Sorry, yeah. This is the first school of nursing were established in Boston and Philadelphia by 1872. Okay, the first school of nursing were established in psychiatry Boston and Philadelphia in 1872. The first American graduate nurse Linda Richards graduated from New England Hospital for Women in Children 1873. Linda Richard, don't forget, this is the first graduated nurse, American graduated nurse from which hospital? New England Hospital for Women and Children in 1873. So phase 1 is over. Then again continuation development of psychiatric nursing. Second is the phase 2. In phase 2, development of the work role of psychiatric nursing. Okay, so how the psychiatric nursing is emerged, that we discussed in the phase 1. In phase 2, we are going to discuss about the development of the work role of psychiatric nurse. What is the role and the duties of the psychiatric nurse in 1882 to 1940? So this is the duration is, this period is very important. Okay. Training schools for nurses in the psychiatric setting were established at McLean Hospital in Belmont and Massachusetts, at Buffalo State Hospital in New York in 1882. In 1882, there are 2 schools are open for psychiatric nursing. So one is the McLean Hospital in Belmont and second one is Massachusetts and Buffalo State Hospital in New York. Okay, remember, you need to by heart this one. 1882. And what happened next development? Trained nurses were employed in state mental hospital in 1819. Trained nurses were employed in state mental hospital 1819. That is also one of the milestone. And the next one is the National Society for Mental Hygiene. It is a very important. Remember this year also. National Society for Mental Hygiene was founded in 1909. Yeah, what is this? John Hopkins University started at School of Nursing and a fully developed curriculum for psychiatric nursing was implemented in 1930. So what is the next development? In 1930, John Hopkins University started a school of nursing and a fully developed curriculum. So these all are the history. So you want to learn, okay? The next development of psychiatric nursing is the phase 3. Development of undergraduate psychiatric nursing education started. So first we discussed how the psychiatric nursing is evolved. Second is the work role. In phase 2, we discussed about the work role. In phase 3, we are going to discuss about how the development of undergraduate psychiatric nursing education, that is GNM, BSc, psychiatric nursing education, 1915 to 1935. Student nurses received clinical experience in state mental hospital. Second, textbook focusing on psychiatric nursing practice were written. So everything you need to read. Harry Bailey wrote the first psychiatric nursing textbook, Nursing Mental Disease. And next is the insulin shock therapy and ECT and the prefrontal lobotomy were introduced in the psychiatric clinical setting. During this period, insulin shock therapy and ECTs and the prefrontal lobotomy were introduced in psychiatric clinical settings. Clear? Patients, they are used. The National Committee for Mental Hygiene was established. The next phase 4. In phase 4, development of graduate clinical experiences in psychiatric hospital were standardized by 1937. So clinical experience psychiatric hospital. So if you want to in 1937 onwards, if you want to work in a psychiatric setting as a staff nurse, so you need psychiatric experience, sorry, psychiatric education, isn't it? So special education you required. So it is some standardized standard is that. Approximately half of all nursing schools provide psychiatric nursing courses. However, participation in psychiatric courses did not become a requirement for nursing license until 1955. Okay, half of the nursing schools provided in 1936 to 1945. Half of nursing schools provided psychiatric nursing courses in their curriculum. However, in working in psychiatric course, participant psychiatric course did not become a requirement for nursing licensure until 1955. There is not a specific license is required till 1955. After that, the license in psychiatry is started. The National League of Nursing Education has framed curriculum guidelines for psychiatric nursing graduate education. So it's already we discussed. The last phase, phase 5, development of consultation and research in psychiatric nursing. Yeah, finally the research also enter into this psychiatric nursing practice in 1946 to 1990. Still it's going on, not till 1990, still it's going on. The Mental Health Act provides the funding to graduate nursing program in order to prepare the psychiatric clinical nurses. So Mental Health Act, the act, we will discuss in the later classes what is the Mental Health Act also. It provides the funding to graduate nursing program in order to prepare psychiatric clinical nurses. Yearly grants were given to the National League for Nursing to evaluate psychiatric programs. So it's everything related to the Grant Act. In 1950, National League for Nursing started the training of student nurses in psychiatric units, which was found essential in 1950. In 1952, Hildegard Peplow developed the theory related interpersonal relation in psychiatric nursing that you will study in the theories, isn't it? Hildegard Peplow in 1952 developed the theory related interpersonal relationship in psychiatric nursing. In 1960, the name psychiatric nursing was changed to psychiatric mental health nursing. Okay, that is important point. 1960, the name psychiatric nursing was changed to psychiatric mental health nursing. A continuation in 1963, the Journal of Psychiatric Nursing and Mental Health Services was published. In 1970, the name psychiatric mental health nursing was again changed to psychosocial nursing. So remember these 2 years. In 1970, again that psychiatric mental health nursing was again changed to psychosocial nursing. In 1985, standards of psychiatric mental health and clinical nursing practices were published by American Nurses Association, ANA. American Nurses Association in 1985. In 1990, integration of neurosciences into holistic biopsychosocial practices of psychiatric nurses took place. So there is an integration of psychiatric disorder with the neurosciences, isn't it? We know that psychiatry is there is a neurotic problem and a psychotic problem is also there. So it is that integration is started in 1990. So okay, this is one data. This is the last portion: mental disorder and their global prevalence rate. Uh, what is the global? What is mean by prevalence rate? How much cases are there? Isn't it in the total entire population? So substance use disorders are substance use disorders are 13%. So it is a very high level. So substance use disorder is also coming under in the psychiatry only. Anxiety is 3.8 percentage. Overall, the entire population, the whole world, depression 3.4. Alcohol use disorder, substance use disorder is separate, and alcohol is also they are separated from the alcohol use disorder, that is 1.4. Drug use disorder 0.9. Bipolar disorder 0.6, schizophrenia 0.3, eating disorder 0.2. So these are the